Have corrected laser eye surgery each year, and most are thrilled to see clearly without glasses or contacts. But there are rare cases when things go wrong, and for some, the torment is just too much to bear. Here's Amber Cogliano.
I'm struggling a little bit, so I do still need all the prayers and the well wishes because this is a hard go.
This popular TV meteorologist suffered after having laser eye surgery.
I'm trying to stay strong and get through this recovery.
But 2 months after the surgery, 35-year-old Jessica Starr's husband says her struggle with vision and light sensitivity following the procedure led her to take her life. This 26-year-old police officer, Ryan Kingersky, also committed suicide after his family says he experienced severe complications from LASIK eye surgery.
He was in pain morning, noon, and night.
I spoke to Ryan's parents, Tim and Stephanie.
We went to his apartment on the morning of, and he had left us a note saying that LASIK did this to me, I can't take it anymore.
Do you remember that moment, Stephanie?
Yes. I will never forget it.
It's the worst feeling in the world.
They say their once vibrant son, who had everything to live for, including a beautiful girlfriend, started experiencing headaches, blurred vision, and a buzzing sensation in his face.
Why did this surgery and the complications push him so far that he wound up taking his own life?
It took him away from his family. It took him away from his friends. It took him away from his job that he wanted to do since he was 3 years old.
So, what could have gone wrong? Ryan's parents say their son had very thin corneas, which experts say can make LASIK eye surgery particularly risky. But according to his parents, Ryan was never told he would not be a good candidate.
I've taken care of thousands and thousands of patients as a result of these surgeries.
Miami optometrist Dr. Edward Botched treats patients with complications from laser eye surgeries.
A good portion of my livelihood is derived from this patient population. How can I, with good conscience, say that it's a safe procedure to do?
But Los Angeles optometrist Dr. Danielle Richardson says serious complications are very rare.
LASIK is a very safe procedure. When we're talking about super significant things that are going to cause vision loss or impact your daily life, we're looking at less than 1% of the patients.
I'm struggling a little bit.
But for these patients, the torment was too much to bear.
It's an absolute nightmare that we have to relive every day.
The LASIK facility that performed Ryan's surgery says while they can't speak about any patient specifically, suicide generally cannot be reduced to any single cause, adding there is no clinical evidence linking suicide in LASIK eye surgery. They also say they give all their patients a consent form before surgery, which addresses the risks.
They sure do. Wow. Look, they right. Let's start it backwards, man. They literally give you a consent form saying the risks, and you sign it basically saying you can't sue them if some complications happen because this is a risky surgery. Why do I know that? Because your boy Angelo Savage got LASIK surgery, yeah, about 3-4 years ago. I used to wear glasses, man. I was bifocal. Not bifocal, but I had them glasses, man. I made him look good though. But still, the problem is I got that surgery too, because you know what I'm saying? I got the LASIK surgery, but I was nervous too when I got it. And yes, you do sign that piece of paper that say, hey, any complications, man, you cannot sue us. But you got to be cautious of what you're doing. Now, like they said, there's no single cost. There's no single cost to state that, hey, LASIK surgery doesn't cause, you know what I'm saying? And that's true. LASIK surgery itself does not cause for you to unalive yourself. That is something personal out of your mind that you have to do. Everybody probably understands that, yes. But y'all got to understand too, this is a risky surgery that you're doing. In my vision, I couldn't see far at all. I used to be able to see, but I couldn't see. So I was wearing glasses and this shit was sharpening my vision. I was like, I'm tired of this, bro. Took some money, and my surgery cost $1,800. And this is a strictly cosmetic surgery, so insurance does not pay for this type of surgery. This is something that you have to pay out of your own pocket with your own money. Now, it was one of my favorite and best investments, I would say. I was so grateful when I got it, and I was so grateful that I still have it to this day, because to this day I can see very well, and it's been more of a pro than a con. Now, what I will say, there's a lot of cons to this concept, right? Why? You got You know, your vision could be blurred. Me, personal symptoms I have of myself, dry vision. Yes. I got light sensitivity. Yes, which I didn't have prior. I didn't have dry eyes like I'd have now, as I did. You know what I'm saying? And eye sensitivity. Yes, my eyes are very sensitive compared to where it was. It's more dry than it ever was. And the light sensitivity is more worse than it ever was. But in exchange, I got 20/20 vision. Actually, my vision is better than 20/20. Yeah, I'm seeing in the future. It's 20/25, bro. I'm seeing far. Yes, my vision is sharper than in 20/20. And I say over time, some people's vision revert back to the original if you don't treat your eyes. You know, once you get that surgery done, they said immediately after you get the eye vision, the vision. So for those that don't know, cosmetic, for those that consider, now, like they said, it's a very rare situation this could happen. And I completely believe that, and that is true. Now, back to the problem at hand. The problem at hand is that they had a complication. That complication turned into something else, right? And what we're looking at here is that, you know, when I got my surgery, I knew the complications. And I got my surgery from a Groupon. I used Groupon. I was looking for a certain amount of reviews. I wanted to see who went there. I wanted to make sure this was an adequate place. So I went to the best neighborhood, went to their Groupon, got the best price, and there was a lot of people there. When I got my surgery done, it was about 25 people in that room. We all had to pay up cash up front immediately, right? They had us wait. They put the eye drops in our eyes, which kind of numbs it where you can't feel anything when they doing what they need to do. And then everybody go in there one by one. They clamp your eyes, have your shit open in pride. You don't feel it because your eyes are numb. So you don't even feel it, right? It's just pried open. They let you look into a machine. The machine is a laser. When you move your eyes from this laser, the machine should cut off. Now, the purpose of this machine is going to cut open your, what's the first layer of your eye? It's not the iris. It's the, I forgot the name of it. Anyway, it's the first layer of your eye right there. That first layer, it cuts a clean cut and it cuts it open. They going to flap it open, right? And this is all why that shit, you know, the scary movies when they had the eyes pried open, they got that shit clamped on your eyes and your shit wide open, buckeye, you hear me? The laser going zoop, it's gonna cut around the circle. You know what I'm saying? They gonna fold it over. Now it's exposed. This is the most sterile process. This has to be very sterile because this is a dangerous part. Then they line the machine back up like you see in the picture, and the machine basically shoots lasers into your eye, and it corrects your optic nerve. You know what I'm saying? It makes it the shape that it's supposed to be. And it even cleared my stigmatism, and it made my vision good. Now, for those that want to get the surgery, now look, you got to know the complication. They can't fix people's nearsighted vision. So if you're trying to read, they can't fix that for the old people. They can only fix your vision going far out. They can't fix close-up vision, right? I got the surgery. It smelled like burnt skin. Each eye took about 30 seconds in and out. Immediately, they told me, immediately you should see 75% better. And I did. Immediately, I seen better. Immediately, better than my glasses. And I said, bet. Had somebody pick me up, take me home. They have you have these shades on your eyes. You got to keep doing a little solution in your eyes to keep it hydrated. And you got to take care of your eyes while it heals back because they flap it back after they laser beam it, flap it back, and they just do that. That's it. That's pretty much it. 30 seconds each eye. Quick process. Really quicking it out, easing it out. That day they probably made almost like $40,000 right there in like 20 minutes for real. And I'm like, damn, I need to get in this business. But what I'm saying is that there's complications. Is everybody that was in there, I believe nothing happened bad. And they did, and they had us come back in like 2 days to check our eyes again. And they already had another group of like 25 people doing it again. You know what I'm saying? Grateful that I did it. Grateful I didn't have any complications, but I did do extensive research. Now, back to the subject at hand. The guy unalived himself. Now, this is a common thing for the ones that go wrong. Now, like the lady said, it's like a 1% chance. And in that 1% chance, yes, I understand that a lot of people within that 1% chance, I've heard that people do unalive themselves when they lose their vision. That's like losing a sense. That's like losing a sense of touching. That's like going deaf. Vision is, I think, is the most important next to your sense of smell and your sense of touch. Because if you can't see, man, you're done. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to put into the aspect of your job. This lady was a person that has to read prompters on the news. But what's more important, this other guy was a police officer. He probably didn't want to see the glasses, but then he didn't want to wear the glasses for his job. You know what I mean? But look what has to happen. He lost his vision, man. Unfortunately, this does happen, and that is a risk. It's like the same when I went skydiving. I went skydiving and have you sign a waiver in case you die. You can't sue us, man. And that's just what it is when it comes to cosmetic surgery, anything, BBLs and all that. If it wasn't the problem of the surgeon and it was just a complication in the person, the patient itself, you can't sue them, bro. Unfortunately, this is a sad situation I see, and I understand in a way, but I don't. You know, I don't think nobody should be able to just take their life away due to something so minimal, even though it is a big thing. You know, he had a lot of life to live. He could have done a lot of stuff, even being blind. But I understand the concept of having a very declining life. He would immediately probably lose his job because he's a police officer. He can no longer. He's probably a fresh police officer. He didn't build no pension, nothing. And he would have just lost his job just like that. It just would have been hopeless for at least the rest of his life. So I understand, but I don't. I don't think he still should have taken his own life. Believe me, I don't still believe that. But I just wanted to give you guys my personal experience that I've had with this same thing. And I did extensive research because I was nervous as well, but I had confidence that this place is going to do me justice because I went to the best neighborhood. I went to the best doctors in that neighborhood, and I still did extensive research within that neighborhood. And you know, the doctors were adequate, very professional. It was very sterile. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, he already had pre-existing conditions, so that feeds into the purpose as well. So, I want to hear y'all stories in the comments section if y'all got something personal to say about this whole concept too, because this is not just affect this guy. This affects other people. Do you know somebody that this can affect? You know what I'm saying? Or has affected? Do you know someone that might have unalived themselves due to this factor? Have you also heard stories of people unaliving themselves because they lost their vision due to LASIK? Because I can understand it. It's a big thing that you don't want to happen. And as of now in my life, I still am grateful that I got LASIK because it made my life a little better. You know what I'm saying? I can move around. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't look like Poindexter all the time, but sometimes it's okay to look like Poindexter. Be yourself, you know what I'm saying? But vision is something when you get it back, it's like, wow, you can see clearly now. The rain is gone. But then again, it comes with a risk. You know what I mean? Beauty comes with a risk, a deadly risk at that. So, send my prayers out to the family of this police officer. I hoped he didn't do that, and I hope anyone after that doesn't do that, and we find better solutions for this problem. There is a 1% risk, maybe a little less than that for real, risk that could happen. So tell me what y'all think in the comment section about this. Don't forget to like my video, please, and don't forget to subscribe because this is your boy Angelo Savage. Peace.